This is part 4 of our teaching that we're doing on Psalm 91 concerning healing, divine healing, and the provisions that's been made. And as we've already talked about, that there's more than just divine healing in Psalm 91. There's quite a few provisions that have been made for us. And so we're going to continue where we left off from our last session. And I want to read Psalm 91 verse 10, and it says, "There shall no evil befall you, neither shall any plague come near your dwelling." Now, the word here for "there shall no evil," the word for evil here in Hebrew is nagah, and nagah actually translated means disease or plague, stroke, but the main point I want you to see is that one of the meanings, the main meaning of this word here, where it says no evil will befall you, is talking about disease. No disease shall befall you. Now that's, most people would, they don't have knowledge that this is covered right here in the scriptures in Psalm 91. Of course, they read it as "there shall no evil befall you," but that's why it's so important to look up the Hebrew. And if you're studying from the Tanakh, the Old Testament, and to find out what the actual Hebrew has to say, because it says right here, "There shall no sickness," no disease, "come near your dwelling. Neither shall any plague come near your dwelling." No sickness, disease, or evil shall come near your dwelling. Now, this is a promise or provision that Yahuah has made to those that will do in this whole chapter here. That you will say of Yahuah, as verse 1 says, or verse 2, "I will say of Yahuah, He is my refuge, He is my fortress, in Him do I trust." See, it's important that you and I release our faith. And we've talked about this on our other teachings, that just because it's a provision that Yahuah has made for us, we have to express our faith and release our faith and trust in His promises before they can be manifested in this natural realm. It says in the book of Hebrews chapter 4, talking about the children of Yasharel. If you remember the story about Joshua and Caleb, or Yahusha and Caleb, they were the 10 spies that went out to spy out the land of Canaan. And they came back with a good report. They came back, in fact, the other spies that came back had an evil report, the scripture says, because they went out to spy out the land that Yahuah had promised them, the land of Canaan, and told them that it was a land prosperous, that He would prosper them there. And when the spies came back, Joshua and Caleb were the only two that had a good report. The others came back and said, "Yes, it's a land flowing with milk and honey, but there's giants in the land, and we can't take them." In other words, I'm paraphrasing a little bit of this, but they said that we were in their sight as grasshoppers, And if you go back and read through that again and find out that Yahuah was very angry that they came back and gave that evil report. Only Joshua and Caleb were the two, or Yahusha and Caleb were the only two of the 10 spies that entered in the promised land. All the others died off because of their unbelief. Hebrews chapter 4 says that they could not enter in, and the reason they couldn't enter into the promised land was because of their unbelief. And it's the same provision for us. If we don't believe this word, if we don't trust Yahuah and what He said, we'll not enter into the provisions that He has made for us. Now, that was just a little side thing I want to mention there, but that's very important that you realize that what I've already shared with you is that we have to trust Yahuah's word. We honor Him by believing His word. Without faith, it's impossible to please Yahuah. For he that comes to Yahuah must believe that He is, and that He is a rewarder of those who diligently seek Him. So it's our diligence and our being committed to Him and trusting Him and His Word that causes us to receive. He's a rewarder. In other words, you'll be rewarded for your steadfast faith and your trust. So, now let me finish reading here. In verse 11 it says, "For He shall give His angels," and we know this is the word malach, His malachs, or His messengers, over thee. They shall to keep you and to protect you in all your ways. They shall bear you up in their hands, lest you dash your foot against a stone. You shall tread upon the lion and the adder, the young lion and the dragon shall you trample under your feet. Because He has set His love upon me. Now Yahuah is speaking here. Because He has set His love upon me. Now this is, again, Yahuah speaking. Because you set your love upon Yahuah, this is what He said. Therefore, I will deliver them. Wow. He said, because you set your love upon Yahuah, He's made a promise to deliver you. He will set you on high because you've known His name. We talked about the importance of knowing the name of our Creator. His name is Yahuah. And He's made a promise right here in this verse that He would set him on high. Now what this is talking about, it's talking about setting you in a place where the enemy cannot get to you. He will set you on high. In other words, there's provision made that you'll be set above where Satan cannot get to you and I, because you know His name. Wow, that's an awesome promise. That's something that you need to think about, meditate upon, and claim for yourself. Declare that in your life, because that's the way you gain access to the promises. Is your faith, and your faith, and you're speaking your faith all the time. The Scripture says that I think this is found in 2 Corinthians chapter 4, I believe, verse 13. It says, we having the same spirit of faith, according as we believe, we speak. People speak what they believe. You can be around someone very negative, and they can be speaking negative things to you all the time. And why do they talk that way? That's what's in their heart. That's what they believe. And you can be around someone who's very positive, or you can be around someone that's got the word of Yahuah in them, that's going to declare their provision, because they believe that. It's in their heart. Do you believe that Yahuah is your salvation? Do you believe that Yahuah, Rapha, your healer? You begin to proclaim what you believe in your heart, and that's so vitally important. We're going to have to stop here for this session, and we'll pick it back up on our next time together. So you have a blessed, prosperous day. Baruch haba b'shem Yahuah. Blessed is he who comes in the name of Yahuah. And we'll see you on our next broadcast. Thank you. Shalom.